color. From the Arizona Professional Locksmith Association studios, it's The Locksmith Show, where your hosts, Andrew from Andrew's Lock and Key, and I, Locksmith Charlie, bring you the latest news and entertainment in the security industry. As always, if anybody wants to come down here to 3rd Street and Palm Lane, we'll cut you up a free key or two of the cheap variety, of course.
Yeah.
Not transponder keys or high security or anything, but normal house keys, something like that.
Older car keys that aren't transponder.
Yeah, like that. Normally I don't just do things like this, but once upon a time I was listening. I ended up listening to Broomhead by default when they took my J.D. Hayworth away. And Broomhead came in one day talking about what a wonderful lunch they had had. Got your pens and papers ready, ladies and gentlemen. 6300 North Scottsdale Road is the place to go. Fogo. All I can say is, if I could eat there every day, I would. I can't really afford that, but we have lunch planned for Monday, so I'm excited about that. Over this weekend, I had occasion once again to meet with Christine Jones, who is allegedly conspiring to possibly run for Congress. And I've invited her to come on the show. She's not going to be here today, and we may have to do a pre-recorded thing because the timing of our show is in direct competition, unfortunately, with God. And her church conflicts with our show. So, but she did remember me from a previous meeting, and it's not at all impossible that we might hear from her on a variety of subjects, such as Google lying to the public, the Communications Decency Act, and maybe even getting some legislation sponsored to stop GoDaddy from doing that goofy domains by proxy thing that keeps hiding the criminals from the people that want to do something about them. In association news, I'm recently back from the ALOA board meeting in Dallas, and we thought we were going to be at Just Cars and didn't get there. I was kind of invited by staff to go represent ALOA in Washington for a little trade show by a local supplier, and then they decided to play Nancy Reagan and just say, no, we're not going to go. Have to wonder if they really want to get members up there, don't you?
Well, I wonder if they want to get any members, period, or if they want to even keep their members. So that's my opinion. Turn me up.
Turn me up. Okay, I can do
there
this
you go.
thing.
Yeah. No, I think personally that they're losing members. Well, I know they are losing members. I've had a few people call me over my video and ask me what I think ALOA is doing, and I say nothing is what I think they're doing, or very little. And
well, I'll tell you, when I first got on the board, I was put on the scammer committee and immediately made chairman thereof. And when I started talking with other committee members trying to get some kind of consensus about anything, all I could ever get was argument, and especially from Mr. Beebe, how we're all already defeated. We can't do anything civilly. We can't do anything criminally. We're just defeated, so there's no sense in trying to do anything. And so I resigned from the chairman position on the scammer committee, and BB took over being chairman. And when asked by another board member, okay, does the scammer committee have a mission statement? He's like, oh, no, thought we were going to do that here. Like, no, the committees are supposed to do things ahead of time and present to the board, and something I'd been telling him for a month or something. He didn't seem to understand. But why don't you tell everybody what's going on with your endeavors to whip people into a frenzy here in the Phoenix market, and
Well, the ultimate goal is to get what the Arizona Professional Locksmith Association was started by me, and uh, it was kind of on a whim. One day I was just looking for domains to buy, and I typed in 24-hour Phoenix locksmith.com just to see. Figured it was already taken over by the scammers because I thought it was at one time. Well, when I saw it, it was available, domain available. I was like, wait a second.
Unbelievable.
That's what I said. So I bought it, and then I started going down the line of all the local cities that used to have them, and they're gone. Well, the websites still have some ranking. Some of them don't as much, but a few of them do. The bigger cities had some ranking stuff to them. I contacted Google, told them I was going to buy the domains and that I needed to be off the spam list, and they agreed, and they are on the spam list now. My ultimate goal is to make a big link around the whole Phoenix area of legitimate locksmiths that aren't going to scam you out of money.
Ring around the Phoenix.
So, and the way Google works is the more, not necessarily all linking, but a big portion of it is linking, especially if you're linking locally to an association that we build as the local locksmiths, as our own government, basically, that governs us. And if Google sees that, they will like that more and give that association more clout, which in returns gives the other websites that are the locksmiths. If you really dig deep into the scammer websites, if any of you locksmiths want to, you'll start seeing that they all link together very deep. But I'm trying to make it up front that we're not doing that on all of our websites, because I know a lot of locksmiths don't want to link to their competition. But if we have an association that makes links back to your website from other cities, will help your local get seen more on your local searches if you have everything else done right. So
what in your whim is an idea of the goals of the association other than just Google ranking? I mean,
I'd like to build an association of business owners. We have PAL. PAL's a great little thing. There's a bunch of younger guys that go to it, but I want the business owners and or the decision makers of the company to have a meeting twice every month or once a month, have an option to do that. I've talked to a couple of supply houses. They're willing to hold us and let us do it. So, but I want it to be open for the guys that, there's lots of local guys that I have zero internet presence, zero. And it's really easy to do. And if you do it the right way, you can stay up for a long time and stay there, and we can fight what's going on.
But aside from internet presence, ALOA's stated objectives are education, certification, and you were saying something about Google believing that we're in charge locally in Arizona.
Yes.
Are you thinking about emulating some of the education and certification and background checking? And
I think down the line, well, we're going to do the background checking. You're going to have a lot of that. If you're already a member of ALOA and or SOPL and or, another association that's out there, you've had a lot of vetting done. And, there's a lot of local guys that are all friends with each other. The ultimate goal is to get a pool of guys together, take a small portion of advertising, and that are all of us, and use it on a much massive scale to where we bring this to light. And more than it is, I still talk to people every day that don't even know that it's going on. They're going for the first 3 numbers that are up there.
The $14 one, the $15 one, and the $19 one.
Yeah, exactly. And, I think in the beginning of it, I want to combat against the scammers. I'd like to build toward, maybe we do some more things on the educational side of things, where we get some other bigger companies that have their education guys come out and do stuff with the association. My ultimate goal is to try to push the scammers out in the beginning. I don't want to teach people how to be a locksmith underneath this association. That's what PAL was designed for. It was a peer-driven help.
And SOPL to some extent.
Well, SOP, but I'm saying on a local level.
Yeah.
On a local level. Where PAL's been around since 1979, which, that's awesome. I'm wanting to take it to another level where it's the actual business owners only that come in, sit down, talk about the industry, talk about what we have problems locally. I really want to combat against getting our emergency service back, which is a lot of money in our pockets as business owners
Yeah,
when
it
we get
certainly
that. And it
is.
saves the
And-
consumer a lot of money as
And
well.
the scammers have taken a great deal of that over the last 5 or 7 or 10 years. Our call-in numbers, if anyone wants to talk about this or any problems they're having with locks and keys, is 602-277-5369. And we encourage anybody and everybody to give a call with any concerns they might have that's related, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Are you looking for creative solutions and a vibrant locksmith community that delivers tailored programs and benefits that impact your bottom line? Look no further. The Society of Professional Locksmiths offers valuable content to help you survive in today's marketplace. Easy online training, testing, certification, webinars, and the best discussion forums in the industry. Learn about the latest and greatest in products, services, and special offers that save you money and increase your earning potential today. The Society of Professional Locksmiths pick the winners and follow the trends that matter to you, and we do it for less. Compare our forward-thinking programs and membership, and you will agree the Society of Professional Locksmiths offers more value for your membership dollar. What makes the Society of Professional Locksmiths different? We cost less and deliver more. Join the Society of Professional Locksmiths today at sopl.us.
Welcome back to the Locksmith Show. Once again, our call-in number is 602-277-5369. If you're having any problems with any of your locks or keys or safes or anything like that, feel free to give me a call. I had a call just the other day from one of my commercial customers that for some reason they keep putting the numbers in the keypad and the keypad keeps beeping and the safe won't open. Well, did you try replacing the batteries? Well, we can't. This is one of those little $60 Harbor Freight things where the batteries are locked inside the safe. And it says that you can use a key to open the safe, but we can't find the keyhole. And even if we could, we have no clue where the key might be. And so stay away from $60 Harbor Freight things and keep your keys, and don't lock your combination and your keys up inside the safe.
It's the safest spot for it, though.
Well, only if you don't want to get in. Now, what is the point of putting the batteries inside the safe where you can't get to them?
I don't know. Makes us more money.
Clearly.
So, thanks, Harbor Freight. Keep it up. But I have seen a video just recently that a guy was making fun of those $60 safes. So I'll have to figure out what the manufacturer is. But
it's Chinese.
He opens it with a potato.
I'm not even going to ask. Well, but I am going to ask. We have a young lad in the studio with us. Now, I understand that's your son.
It is.
And the questions are, what's your name? What do you want to be when you grow up? Are you a future locksmith or brain surgeon? Or what? Talk to us.
Well, my name's Tristen McColley, and I plan to do video editing when I grow up, and a lot of like commercials and movies and TV shows and a lot of that. And I plan to work with my dad soon, start making money because I'm 15. But
We had to get together and do that little project I was talking
we can definitely
about.
talk about that.
With the green screen thing.
He's following under Dad's other business footsteps, just wanting to
Which
expand
is?
that one. I own Underdog Studios, which is a music rehearsal company and a recording studio out in Mesa. We got 7 rehearsal rooms over there and a rather nice studio. We've built it up over the last 7 years, and I've been very blessed with how that's all worked out for me. It's a debt-free business, and it just continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. And I can't thank the people enough who help us build it. It's not just me. That's the musicians locally that have helped build that company.
And so if you want to do rehearsing or recording or any of that kind of stuff, you can get a hold of Andrew by...
You can email us at underdogstudios@gmail.com, or you can call us on the studio line at 480-420-4388. Or you can check us out online at underdogstudios.com.
That sounds like a different number than Andrew's Lock and Key, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's very close. The other Andrew's Lock and Key number is 480-437-4022.
And the Locksmith Charlie number, for those of you who may not know, is 602-717-5397. Or if you happen to get stranded by one of those non-existent payphones, 888-717-5397.
I actually saw a payphone the other day.
Say it's not so.
And somebody actually using it.
Was it the airport or the bus station?
No, it was actually at a gas station.
Unbelievable.
The Circle K.
Yeah. They still, I didn't even know that they worked.
I
thought they
have
were
two.
You have two. Yeah, we should.
In my
put one
storage.
I had no idea that they still worked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, all they require is a telephone line.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, I haven't seen one in a long time. And then I actually saw, when me and Tristen and my daughter were out, we actually saw a phone booth with a phone in it. Still working.
And it wasn't one of those red ones like they have in the UK.
No, that would be really, really cool if it was, though. They have a couple of those red ones at one of the museums out in Mesa.
You know, we could make some of those.
Yeah, they're just wood and glass.
And then they'd get vandalized. Then we'd have spent a lot of money being silly.
Oh, exactly. But back on the association thing, I really think, building an association of peer-driven locally where we kind of, like I said, govern ourselves. Not on, I'm not going to tell you what to charge your customers. That's totally up to you. But
and obviously price fixing is illegal under the federal law.
Exactly. And that's not what our goal is. Our ultimate goal is to, like I said, combat against the scammers, make it so that people have a choice to pick a legitimate locksmith with knowing that they're going to show up at the house, that they've had a background check, that they've had, they've had a background check, that they have insurance, that, they're bonded if they need to be bonded on what they do. Every aspect of it is done, and you're knowing that the association keeps up on it. If they don't renew next year, then they have to get booted out. So,
yeah, and I think it's probably important to say that other than somebody from a scammer company, if you want to come be part of the association and you don't know me and you don't know Andrew, we're not going to exclude you just because we don't know you. It's open to anybody that's legitimate.
Anybody that's legitimate. We may vet you.
Yes.
We may do some research, check on you, and check around with other locksmiths. You're going to have to give us some references and some, your clients, so we can talk and ask how you were. Basically anything that Aloha does, or anything that Sopal does, or anything that any of the other associations do, we want to make sure you're a legitimate guy if we don't know you. So,
yes, take necessary and reasonable precautions to ensure that the public would not be getting into a bad experience with somebody just because they decided, oh, I got a few bucks, let me join that thing.
Exactly. And yeah, we're not just here to be bought into it. It's here to be, built around it. And then I want to hold meetings. I don't want to be the director of it. I want to hold meetings where it's a round table, where everybody can get together, whether that's a good idea or a bad idea in our industry locally, because there's been ups and downs in the last few years of trying to do that before. But I really think if everybody gets together long enough and we work toward it, we can make it happen.
And I just had visions of Andrew sitting across the table there, King Andrew wearing his Burger King hat.
No, because like I said, I may have started it. I may own the websites under, my company name, but it's not about me. It's about the consumer.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what
and if it becomes a viable concern, like it gets formed into a corporation or what have you, the websites can always go under the corporate ownership. And
my ultimate goal is to move it toward a 503c, to where it's a nonprofit company, and it's basically on its own, does its thing. People can be voted in to be, very similar to what Aloha is, but I'd rather not have any of that. Or Sopal. I don't want to be, I want all of us to direct each other toward what we want as a group.
Now,
So
you do know there's a difference between a nonprofit and a charity.
yes,
Yeah. So Aloha is actually a not for profit corporation, where Aloha's Scholarship Foundation is a 401c3. I think it is charity.
charity.
So anything that you give to the educational part or the charitable part is tax deductible, but other than maybe business expenses, the nothing that you pay Aloha is deductible.
Yeah.
I understand we have Rob Painter with us. I think we're gonna chat with him right after the break, and so Rob, hang in there a couple of minutes.
Well, like I said, I want to govern ourselves as locksmiths locally, build an association. The bigger the circle, the more authority you'll get locally. And
Well, I don't even think authority is necessarily the word, because that's for the Congress and for the legislature. I think recognition is
Google
probably
looks at it, that's their term, though. Google's term is the authority. They want you to be the authority in the field that you're trying to hunt for.
How
And,
lovely, with Google being the authority of lying.
hey, you're in your Centroid, your phone. You are a Centroid.
Well, thank you.
So
Thank
that's
you
what they
very
call
much.
you. That's what your phone is.
We'll be back in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen.
You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX, Cave Creek, Phoenix, a division of Premier Radio Stations, the home of the Savage Nation.
Are you looking for creative solutions and a vibrant locksmith community that delivers tailored programs and benefits that impact your bottom line? Look no further. The Society of Professional Locksmiths offers valuable content to help you survive in today's marketplace. Easy online training, testing, certification, webinars, and the best discussion forums in the industry. Learn about the latest and greatest in products, services, and special offers that save you money and increase your earning potential today. The Society of Professional Locksmiths pick the winners and follow the trends that matter to you, and we do it for less. Compare our forward-thinking programs and membership, and you will agree the Society of Professional Locksmiths offers more value for your membership dollar. What makes the Society of Professional Locksmiths different? We cost less and deliver more. Join the Society of Professional Locksmiths today at sopl.us.
Welcome back to the Locksmith Show. Our call-in numbers, once again, are 602-277-5369. And we have with us a guest from the Dallas, Texas area, Rob Painter. How's it going, Mr. Rob?
It's soggy out here. We've got a lot of rain Friday. We're about, I don't know, an hour and a half out of Palestine, and that was on the news about how wet it is out there, where people got killed. It's bad.
Well, that's sad. I know when we were there for the board meeting, I got out of there just in time. They held the airplane for 5 or 10 minutes and told us the eastbound airplanes were shut down completely, but we were only on hold for 5 or 10 minutes. So this whole weather thing is becoming very annoying.
Yes, it is. Speaking of annoying, I want to
That would be me,
bring
huh?
up. I want to bring up a story that I've run across. It's been going on for a couple of years now, and it involves a forensic locksmith. And it's so bad that it's affected the lady's life and livelihood that she can't even do any work now. And the claim should have been paid, but because the locksmith decided to be a little on the dishonest side with his reporting, she was subjected to a very thorough investigation, which she shouldn't have had to go through. And like I say, right now it's still affecting her life. We got her paid and all that, got the claim paid, But in the meantime, they've done a real good job of destroying her. What has happened is insurance companies use the forensic locksmith, kind of like the scammer locksmiths that you refer to. And they use the forensic locksmith to determine how the vehicle was last driven. And so what happened was this vehicle was stolen, and it was recovered, burned, completely burned, nothing left of the car. And they sent the forensic locksmith out there to determine how it was last driven. Well, he was also supposed to do an origin and cause on the vehicle fire, which is a little strange. That's a little out of his field. But he did, and, he didn't do it. What he said the vehicle was burned so bad that he couldn't do an origin and cause on it, and which is not correct, because most vehicles you can, no matter how bad they're burned. But anyway, what happened was he explained in his reporting that the steering column was completely destroyed by fire, never recovered the ignition switch, which is something he's required to examine as a forensic locksmith.
Or the ignition lock cylinder.
Correct. He never recovered that. So what happened was he went into great detail about how burned his vehicle was. And for his conclusion, if you will, he stated, well, this vehicle is equipped with a transponder from the factory, and the vehicle can't be driven except for the insured's key. So that's what he put as a conclusion. Now, could he determine any of this? No. But what he did is he stated how the vehicle was, designed when it was new, except for the fact that this vehicle's burned now, and the factory in their manuals and all that doesn't, relate to anything burned. So what happened was, if he'd been honest, he would have said, fire damaged all the evidence, and I can't determine anything. That's what he should have said. But then again, he wouldn't get paid.
Why not?
Or there'd be questions about him getting any more assignments. So he left that for a conclusion. The investigator, I don't know if he was ignorant or if he just needed that report to say what it, to reflect what it said. But the investigator decided, instead of just paying a claim because there was no evidence, decided to go through a full-blown investigation on the insured. The insured, she speaks kind of broken English. She's kind of hard to understand. She's from Brazil, and she speaks Portuguese. Well, they did what's called an examination under oath. What that is that the deposition that hasn't got a court case assigned to it, and it's part of a investigation instead of a court case. And it's all sworn testimony.
Do they have an interpreter?
No, I'm getting to that. During the deposition, the investigator said, this halfway through, because I was reading the transcript, he said, he asked her what she did, and she says, I interpret for Portuguese people insurance policies so they understand what it means in English. Okay, that's all she did. She interpreted the policies and all that. And her English is okay, but I think sometimes she can't understand when she's being asked in English. And so anyway, what happened was he stated during the EUO, we do pretty much the same thing. We have interpreters in Spanish and Portuguese. Then he just kept going on and answering all these questions, and just looking at the transcript, anybody could tell that she didn't understand the question. Plus the fact that when insureds go through these EUOs, they're not prepared. They have no idea, and that's what I do. I teach them how to answer the questions truthfully, but there's a certain way you got to answer them. And insureds have a tendency of just going on and on and on and on and on, and you got to keep it short and sweet. Anyway,
yes,
she went on and on, and what happened was the investigator said, hey, do you have any idea who could have stolen this car? And she said, well, I have had a problem with one guy from my business, and I think he might have done it. So what the investigator did is he went out of his way to prove that this guy couldn't have done it because he didn't know where the car was parked at that time. the whole thing. So since he eliminated that, well, then she's guilty. That's the way he's looking at it. And so anyway, she gave this sworn testimony, and at the end, about 3 times, he says, do you understand everything that you answered? And, well, she's not going to say, no, I'm stupid. So she says, yeah. And as I said, reading the transcript, anybody can look and see that she didn't know exactly what was going on. So she went through that, and then they found out about her business, what she did, and all this stuff. And after the deposition, she gets a visit by the insurance company, and they interviewed her a little bit. Had nothing to do with the claim because they had already denied it, but it had to do with the deposition she gave, stating that she was an interpreter for policies and all that. Well, they says, you're not licensed, you can't do this. She ended up with a cease and desist letter from this insurance company. Okay. Meantime, the first question I asked her when I was involved in this, I says, did you have anything installed on your car, aftermarket or anything like remote start? She says, yeah. I says, do you have a receipt? She says, yeah, I'll send it to you right now. And she sent me the receipt. So it had remote start. The vehicle will start from a distance without a key in the ignition. And the transponder is essentially bypassed. So transponder's got nothing to do with anything anymore. And the insurance company never asked her. The forensic locksmith never asked. And it's the first thing you ask, because that changes it from factory design to aftermarket design. And
so what ultimately happened? So what ultimately happened?
Well, what actually happened was it had the remote start on it. And I sent the receipt to the insurance defense attorney, because you were saying about all the facts she had, and they weren't facts. They were just built upon her statements to the deposition and made to appear to be facts. So I said, this vehicle had remote start. Here's the receipt. Well, she was going to get back to me. And I never heard from her. I just said, the heck with it, and I put her in touch with an attorney to sue. And
all right, well, hang on just a minute, Rob. We're up against the break, and we'll come back with a short finale in just a very few minutes after these announcements from our sponsors.
Are you looking for creative solutions and a vibrant locksmith community that delivers tailored programs and benefits that impact your bottom line? Look no further. The Society of Professional Locksmiths offers valuable content to help you survive in today's marketplace. Easy online training, testing, certification, webinars, and the best discussion forums in the industry. Learn about the latest and greatest in products, services, and special offers that save you money and increase your earning potential today. The Society of Professional Locksmiths pick the winners and follow the trends that matter to you, and we do it for less. Compare our forward-thinking programs and membership, and you will agree the Society of Professional Locksmiths offers more value for your membership dollar. What makes the Society of Professional Locksmiths different? We cost less and deliver more. Join the Society of Professional Locksmiths today at sopl.us.
Welcome back to the Locksmith Show. We have with us Rob Painter from Texas, and he's got to finish up the story of the lady who's being investigated after her car burned it up.
Well, what she did is she sued the insurance company, found that the remote start was enough evidence to prove that her key wasn't used to drive the vehicle. The case was settled. That was the end of it, she thought. Well, what happened was she ended up going through school and getting an insurance license so she could sell insurance. The one insurance company that she had insurance with was they sent all sorts of letters. We're glad to take you on. All we got to do is, set you up for an appointment, and we'll get you going. Well, then she gets a letter stating that due to circumstances, we feel that we can't do any business with you. And so that's where she's at. And she's been pretty well blackballed from every insurance company for selling insurance because of her theft claim. Had the theft claim been paid, she wouldn't be going through this right now. And currently, she just went before the Insurance Licensing Commission trying to get this thing handled. But this has been going on 2 years, and now her life is destroyed for who knows how long. So that all because the forensic locksmith was not what we would
truthful.
Call honest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has she, you, or anyone taken any action against this so-called expert forensic locksmith guy for lying or not telling the whole truth?
No one has at this point, and that's probably our next step. And then we're probably going to have a restraint of trade suit against the insurance companies too. But that's where we're at right now. This has just come down yesterday, so we're in the middle of it. But the worst thing is that she can't. They're trying to shut her out of any kind of livelihood she could possibly have. She went to the work, getting her license and everything else, and they're willing to take her on. And then all of a sudden, no, because she had this insurance claim and because she was found guilty. In other words, the insurance company charges and convicts you without due process, and that's what happens when you get your car stolen.
We'd be interested in knowing a lot more about this. And one of the things BB wants to do over at Aloha is start compiling a database of scammer activities and other activities that are detrimental to our trade. And I think if you were to write this up in the form of a letter or perhaps, maybe even how a congressman might write a congressional report or something, and send it into Aloha and SOPL and the show here. That's the kind of stuff we'd like to start compiling.
Well, I got a lot of it. I have a lot of it. And, insurance fraud is a problem. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, anti-insurance at all. But the point is that, in these situations, we have to look at where the fraud is. Is it on the part of the insured or is it on the part of the insurance company? That's the thing that we got to look at.
And people being people, it could be either way. Well,
that's correct.
Thanks for calling in this week, and we'll talk to you again one of these days real soon. And send us everything that you've got to send. Anything that's not confidential or what have you, and we'll spread it around. And
I will, and don't forget my website's autotheftexpert.com.
Excellent. And you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Autoexpert.com.
Autotheft expert.
Autotheftexpert.com.
That's correct. Thank you.
Have a good one, Rob. So, what are we going to do about these nasty insurance companies?
I don't know. Tie them up with the scammers and throw them all in the Pacific Ocean somewhere? I don't know.
One could wish.
One could wish. That and all the rowdy politicians, too. But you can't do it.
Maybe this is another thing we could bring to Miss Jones's attention if we ever get her in for an interview, or McCain or Kyle or Mollusky or any of these other want to run for office people that don't seem to think they want to answer all questions.
Well, it hasn't affected them yet. This, like we say it all the time on this show. It's not just in our industry; it's in almost any home service industry that there's a big problem. So,
well, I think the only industries that aren't being affected are lawyers, because you have to put your bar number on everything when you go to court. There have been very, very few cases that have been documented of doctors that were phony. And CPAs, the IRS has got a pretty close eye on them. But other than those three, I can't really think of any service-related industry that these crooks can't get into and won't. We know for sure about locksmiths, garage door repair, carpet cleaning, moving and storage, and a bunch of these are all being operated by the same groups.
Yes. Yes.
So, it used to be I had all the answers, and now I don't know half the questions.
That's the way it works. But
So, like I said earlier, don't ever get old. It really sucks.
well, and again, like I said, Charlie and I are members of the association, along with Jim Anderson of Copper State Lock and Todd Hogan of Alcatraz Locksmith. And we're looking for any local Phoenix metropolitan area locksmith to join. We'll be branching out up north to Flagstaff and Tucson, hopefully very soon, and trying to build a huge association.
Now, you do know that Tucson is not up north.
I said up north and down south. Flagstaff, too. Well, it is north if you're going one way. If you're close to the border, it's north.
Okay, then.
You know what I meant.
I'm Mr. Silly.
You are Mr. Silly. But it's north on I-10, but it's not north on I-10. It would be
East.
But you drive north.
Not to go south.
Not to go south. No.
Yeah, that does get a little bit confusing. And I got to wonder what some of these road engineers are thinking of here. If you're in Columbus, Ohio, they have a loop around Columbus that the designation changes for each quarter of the loop. They switch the numbers around. So if you say I'm on such and such, the cops or whoever will know immediately exactly where you're at. Where here, if you tell somebody, yes, there's been a nuclear explosion at 101 in Indian School, is that in Scottsdale or is that in Glendale? I mean, really?
Yeah. No, I know. Well, the worst is when I called 911 the other day. There was a poor guy laying on the side of the road on the freeway and on the street. And the lady proceeded to ask me which company she needed to send out. And I said, send them both. Figure out who he is and where he's, whose property he's on. If he's on the DPS side, if he's on the Tempe side. Just send them both. Let them make that decision. But there's a guy laying on the side of the ground. But that's what she was more concerned about.
Well, and I'd be, who cares which cops you send over when the ambulance needs to get there first? Hello?
Mm-hmm. So.
But, of course, the folks that are taking these calls and dispatching people are always stuck on that one song.
I'm not aware of too many things. I know what I know if you know what I mean.
I think the computer's stuck on it, too. I really think so.
I used to have a gal work in my shop, and she got tired of hearing this all the time. I am thoroughly convinced that she's immune to learning. And that, ladies and gentlemen, shall wrap it up for this month's edition of the Locksmith Show.
Not this month. This is the new month.
Or last month's edition, or this week's edition.
This week's edition.
See
Happy
you
May
next
1st.
week. Have a great day.
Hey guys, if you like my YouTube channel, please subscribe below. It's over here. I don't know. It's somewhere, anywhere. It's wherever they like to put it. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Share my videos. If you have any questions, email me, andrewslockandkeyaz@gmail.com, or don't hesitate to pick up the phone. I answer my phone all the time. 480-437-4022. Thank you, and have a great day.